I got the Oscar fever, hope you got it too. Pour me some bubbly now, it's all you gotta do. It's Christmas for Tinseltown, the Academy Awards. Pop up some popcorn and come on aboard now. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? That's the Oscar fever. Hope you got it too. Let's go! Woo! Woo! All right! Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? Hey! Hey! All right! Thank you. Oh, thank you very much to the On Cinema Marching Band. Everybody, my name is Tim Heidecker. Welcome to the 3rd annual On Cinema Oscar Special. We're getting so excited. We're getting ready for, hold on a minute. Getting ready for the big night tonight. It is Oscar season now, and it is the night, as we say, Christmas for Tinseltown, the Academy Awards. We got a big show tonight. We got Governor Mike Huckabee from the great state of Arkansas is going to be joining us later. He's going to be playing the Oscar medley theme song with me and the gang, the band over here. I got his bass all tuned up, and we're going to be so excited to be joining him. And he's going to add his own insight into who he predicts to win and what kind of movies he likes. I think it's going to be pretty cool to see his perspective on the movies. We're also going to be doing, for the first time, the 1st annual On Cinema Movie Awards. And these are going to be awards that recognize some movies that didn't get some recognition that other movies that we feel should have gotten recognition. So throughout the night, we're going to be joined by many special guests as we take a look at that wonderful part of the show. We got Mark Proch on board, who's going to be doing some interviews, some impressions, and various kinds of comedy, different kinds of humor. And we're going to have so much fun. I'm going to show you guys a sneak peek at Decker Season 2. We got a trailer coming up for that. It's unbelievable. We're going to have so much fun. Stay with us tonight as the Oscars continue. Take your breaks from the Oscars and join us here live from Culver City all night long here in California. I'd like to now welcome my, I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to call him Mike, the co-host of this special. He deserves that title, and I'm so proud to have him as a friend and a roommate and everything else he is to me. He is a real film buff, and that's going to be so valuable as we go through tonight's show, because we're going to be turning to him for all kinds of expertise and sort of analysis on the movies. And I'd like to bring him out to you tonight. I know you guys know him. He's been on the show before, and I want to welcome him right now. It's Mr. Greg Turkington. So let's bring him out as the co-host of the On Cinema Oscar special that we're having right now, the 3rd annual Oscar.
Hey guys,
special.
hey Tim.
Oh, look at this.
I made a special On Cinema
Oscar special.
Oscar special cake.
All right, we'll have to eat that. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, that's terrific. And get a close-up of the camera. Get a close-up of that. You show that? All right.
Well, hold on.
All right. Just leave it. Just leave it. Greg, hey, just leave it. Leave it. Hey, Greg, come on, we're on the air. Just forget it. Take your mark. All right. So listen, appreciate that. We can get him a napkin or something. He spilled the cake.
Well, it dropped and spill it.
All right, we'll get you something. We got a napkin or something? You got cake all over him.
I didn't get all over just in my hands.
In there. I just want to say, Greg, thank you so much for being a part of the On Cinema family. You're almost sort of like the uncle for us.
Or the brother.
Yeah. And it's great you're here tonight. We got so many fun things planned. I got to tell you, though, I'm trying to become more connected with people I know, and you know, it's a rare opportunity. You get to do this live, and you get to tell people how you feel. And I wanted to tell you something that's going to make you embarrassed. It's probably going to make your cheeks rosy and red. But I love you, and I love you as a friend. And I want to wish you the best of luck on the special tonight, and watch the cake.
Well, it's all about the movies,
Yeah.
and so that's nice to know.
Yeah, we're going to have so much fun tonight. We got so much planned, so much to get to. I want to start everything off with a little prayer, because I think you can't expect greatness to happen unless you thank the Lord and thank Jesus Christ himself. So I want to take a quick minute. Everybody, if you're not religious, you can do this, or you not do this. You can just respect what we go through. And I'm going to just quickly thank you, Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you, Father in heaven, for giving us this opportunity to share our love of movies and our love of the Hollywood system with our wonderful On Cinema family. And I wish that we have a wonderful, wonderful show tonight, and I hope nothing goes wrong. And I hope that even if things do go wrong, we find it in ourselves to forgive each other, and we forgive ourselves. Amen for that. And good luck tonight,
Cool.
and we're going to
That's
have
cool.
fun, and we're going to be listening for you guys to chime in. We got a social media campaign going nuts right now. We got hashtag On Cinema Oscar special. Greg, how excited are you about tonight?
Hashtag movies also.
And hashtag movies, but that's going to get a little lost in the shuffle, so we want to focus the hashtag appropriately. Greg, talk us through tonight. Talk us what you're expecting to see. Talk to us about the Oscars that you love as much.
Well, you know, last year I put a lot into the grand finale for the show, and I feel that you were disappointed by it. The cards and letters I got from people said that they were happy with it. You were a little disappointed by it. So I made sure that this year we did something that no one could be disappointed by. I have a finale that is going to make international headlines. I have made contact with, and befriended one of the all-time legends of Hollywood, multiple Oscar winner, who has been out of the public limelight for many years. You don't see this person around. You're going to see him here tonight in an exclusive On Cinema Oscar interview that's going to make international headlines.
Fantastic. Honestly, folks, I don't know who he's brought, but I can't wait.
You do know this person. This is a household name that has not been in the public eye. Very reclusive.
Awesome. Well, we are going to have so much fun. As I told you before, Mike Huckabee is going to be coming later, and we're going to be playing some music. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to check out his new book, God, Guns, Grits, and Gravy. It always gets tongue-tied with me. But God, Guns, Grits, and Gravy. It's sort of one of those tongue teasers. You could try saying it 5 times in a row. Good luck. But I read that this morning for the second time, and I got so much out. It was one of those rereads where you go, I missed that the first time. So I enjoyed it. I recommend it. And hopefully we'll get to talk a little bit about the book. Did you get a chance to read it? Or?
No, I've been busy with movies and reviewing films and just working on things. To Decker 2, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, and we're going to be showing a sneak peek at Decker 2, which is a beautiful trailer that we've cut together with your audience in mind. Thank God that you guys are out there supporting the On Cinema family.
I got a prediction right now. It's not an Oscar prediction, it's a Decker prediction.
Okay.
I predict that season 2 of Decker is going to be even better than season 1. It's going to be great.
It's pretty much of a safe bet, I think,
Yeah,
considering who's involved. I want to get to Mike. We talked about Mike Huckabee. We talked about Decker season 2. We talked about your Oscar predictions tonight. That's what I want to know. Before we get into the special, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
And we've got from Golden Age Comedies,
Mark Proch.
He's not doing W.C. Fields.
No.
Don't worry, but he's doing something else that's never been attempted before. Again, it's a night of firsts.
Well, before we get into that, why don't we open up? I know everyone's thinking, don't drink, because I have a problem with that, and I acknowledge that, and I talked to a lot of people about it, actually. But I do have this. I found this at the store the other day, one of these Whole Foods stores. This is organic champagne. We see this? We got a close-up of this? It's organic champagne, so it's non-alcoholic. And I'm going to just, because I like the taste of it, but I don't want to lose my stuff, you know. So this is the real, see, it doesn't have as much fizz. That's how you know. So I'm going to have a little bit of this just to kick things off But like I said, it's organic. Oh, there you go. You want a little bit, Greg? Or?
No, I'm okay.
All right, well, drinking for one, but not really drinking, just sort of looking like I'm drinking
So
for the
what is
camera.
it made of?
What? Well, it's
if
obviously
not?
probably like that Martinelli stuff or whatever. You can see it's a proof, is right on the bottle here, organic. So let's fill that up to the brim. It tastes like it's got something in it, but it doesn't. It's got that kind of kick. And at this time of the year, I always get this time of the year, February, March, you get that cold that everybody gets. So I got a little bit of that. I don't know if you heard it in my singing voice. So I've been drinking a little bit of Mucinex all day long. Just a little hitting the Mucinex in there. Not a sponsor, but I have been taking little swigs because of my cough. So we're going to, I don't want to do the whole NyQuil thing because Mucinex is not going to mess with your hormones like NyQuil does. Speaking of sponsors, we got a wonderful sponsor here tonight, Chaplin's Chili from North Hollywood. They're going to be providing food for the crew, and it's really wonderful food. And we can show a little bit of their food later, talk about that. But thank you to Chaplin's Chili. They're up here in North Hollywood if you're in California and you want to check them out. Have you had a
can't eat
chance?
popcorn all the time. That's
No.
what I always say about Chaplin's.
Right.
Is sometimes you got to eat something more
Excuse me.
substantial, and Chaplin's has been very good to provide funding, some partial funding for the show, and also to provide chili for our crew and our guests. And we've got some great guests tonight.
And I know I'm going to get a lot of complaints about my wardrobe because in the past couple of years I've done the right thing. I've worn the tuxedos and I've dressed up. And I thought to myself the other day, why don't we just relax? Why don't we just calm down about all the pomp and circumstance and all the tuxedos and this and that? Why don't we just say, hey, you know what? Let's be a little rock and roll. This is the whole reason. If I'm at the Academy Awards, of course I'm going to respect their process and dress accordingly. But tonight is our night, and it is the night of the On Cinema Movie Awards. And I can't wait to see who's going to win those. But congratulations to you. And I see you've got an outfit that I've recognized.
One of the most popular characters in the last year in the movie world was Special Agent, CIA Agent Kingston. And so I came in my Kingston outfit, and hope you appreciate it.
Not for sale, by the way, but. And we are so excited to be here live on the internet. Go ahead and pass along the link because it's going to be a fun, long night. We're going to have a fun time getting into different segments and talking about different things. We have so much in store. Please stay with us, but let's let the community grow and let's let people discover this for the first time. If you've been watching so far, you know that we're all about having a good time. And we're all about celebrating the wonderful traditions of movies and cinema. And some of my favorite movies this year are represented tonight at the Academy Awards.
And I put together a special set tonight to really bring it all home, showing some of the
Oh, yeah,
really
talk to
most
us about
important
this.
things that are involved in movie making, from the cameras
Yeah, I want to
to
just,
projectors to the
if we
slate.
stick to what we discussed. I was going to introduce this idea that Greg here has been so kind to help us decorate the set today with his own private personal VHS collection. Greg, do you mind giving us a little tour?
This is what you call a pop-up museum. It's a museum that travels and exhibits wherever an exhibit is needed. We definitely needed an exhibit here on the history of Oscar-winning movies. I decided to bring items from my collection that are not just movies that won the grand prize, but movies that should have won the grand prize. And so it's a combination of both. These are all Oscar caliber movies. Whether or not they actually won an Oscar, who knows? Some of these movies you've seen on Popcorn Classics. This is Son of the Pink Panther, which we featured on a recent episode. Golden Age comedy. It's one of the most popular segments we ever had. Here's some of the movies that Mark reviewed on that, and some of the movies that he was planning on reviewing if the segment hadn't been canceled. So this is really an Oscar museum. Feel free to watch it virtually on the web, to take a look at it and browse through the titles. You can learn a lot from this.
All right, and we want to thank wonderful Greg Turkington here, who brought these wonderful films for us to enjoy and
Posters,
feast our eyes
reels,
on.
some of my movie books I've got here. Popcorn popper that we rented out.
And we are so excited to get, we're about, I'd say, 15 minutes away from Oscar deadline. What time is it anyway? Do we have a time check on this? We got a few minutes. Okay, we got 13 minutes until Oscar begins. I want to know what you guys think is going to be the best movie of the year. I know I've got my picks, and I think that in a lot of ways Oscar screwed up this year. Greg, who do you think is going to take home the big prize? I'm talking about Best Picture.
Well, you know, it's not what I think, it's what I know. I actually have some friends, some sources on the inside. And this year was very strange. Throughout the history of Oscar, there's always been 10 Best Picture nominations. This year there were only 8. People were scratching their heads, wondering what that was about. In fact, it was very calculated, like all things Oscar. In fact, there are 10 nominations all along.
All right.
Some of them weren't announced to the public, but they were announced to the voters, and that's all that matters. In addition to the 8 familiar titles that you're all wondering about and hoping will win or won't win, 2 other titles are also on the ballot this year, Annie and The Hobbit 3. I have it from a reliable source that the voting is in, and based on an informal exit poll, The Hobbit received somewhere between 53 and 59% of the votes. Annie received somewhere between 11 and 15%. The rest of the movies were all in the 2 to 5% zone. None of them have a chance. Based on those projections, I think it's obvious that The Hobbit 3 is finally going to walk home with Oscar gold. And it's not a big surprise to those who are movie buffs, to the general public. They're going to be scratching their heads, but guys like us, we know exactly what Oscar's about, and it's about rewarding Peter Jackson and The Hobbit for what has been the greatest trilogy of all time.
Now, when I saw the nominations come out, can we get our seats in here? Because I feel like we're standing and my legs are starting to hurt. You have to have them in now.
I was wondering why we didn't have that.
Yeah. The idea was that we'd do this standing, the song standing, and Greg would come out and we'd sit down.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a little better, isn't it? Maybe we could actually now talk about movies. I thought when the nominations came out, I thought it was odd that a movie that I really enjoyed was not on the list. A movie called
Annie.
What's it called? Escape Plan. You see Escape Plan with Sylvester Stallone and Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you're going, wait a minute, you mean Arnold Schwarzenegger was in the same, they were in the same movie? And the answer is they were. They were in Escape Plan, came out this year. I thought it was the best movie of the year, and probably the best movie I've seen in a long time. And you see stills from it right now, and that's Arnold. You go, I thought Arnold didn't do movies anymore, especially with Sylvester Stallone, and the answer is he does, and they're the best. And Oscar snubbed it this year, and maybe it's because of politics or whatever, but I know that
It's not because of that.
Well, we'll ask Mike, because I know he's got a relationship as a governor, a former governor. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a governor of California, and
It's just that there's only 10 movies a year that they can nominate for Oscar. To me, that's the Oscar flaw. I believe that the Oscars should switch to being a monthly award ceremony.
Yeah.
People would watch it,
Let's
people
go to,
love the ceremony, and then
let's go to
movies
Mark
like that
Proch.
would get rewarded for what they're doing.
Okay. We want to go to check in with Mark Proch. Not ready? We don't have Mark? Okay. We don't have Mark. All right. Everybody, I got to go. We'll be right back with
What
more
about
On Cinema.
my segment?
Stand by for that. We'll be right back for more On Cinema Oscar Special. We are back, folks. We are live. F the Oscars. We're not going to be going in and out of whether the Oscars or not. We're going to be with you all night. We're in sync. We got it together. We had a lot of problems. We had a lot of people work very hard to make this thing happen every year. A lot of people failed me personally and professionally. A lot of people are going to owe me a big apology. There's a lot of people involved here that I'm looking at right now that I'm never going to be speaking to again. I'm not looking at you. You're a friend. This is not on you. A lot of people online are saying this has something to do with Greg Turkington. It does not. He's been nothing but supportive. He's been nothing but a good friend through this. I don't know why people think that we have anything to do with technical problems. We are merely the face of this production. We are not in the gutty works. We're not responsible for sound and which cameras are doing what. Okay? Those are for the low-life losers that found themselves in this position in their life. There, I'm talking to you. Okay? And they've embarrassed me and they've humiliated me in front of millions of people who are watching, who tried to watch and tried to have a good time tonight. And I apologize, I apologize to the On Cinema families who I apologize to. And I'm sort of regretting praying to God for this show to work well, because that seems to have bit me in the ass. It's the last time I ever prayed to him. God. And guess what? Bad news, everybody. This is full of booze. I thought it was just generic organic soda, but it is champagne. I've finished a bottle. Greg, you went down to the Oscar ceremony earlier and you broadcast this report. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people...
We got a lot of show coming up. We got the On Cinema Oscars, Mark Proch, Samuel L. Jackson's going to be here, Mike Huckabee is going to be here. I look forward to working with him.
Kodak, now the Dolby Theater. This is the main entrance where the stars walk through after the ceremony, holding their precious statuettes in their arms. Yes, folks, there really is an Oscar, and this is where he holds court. You can see behind me the steps. We're here in front of Oscar's famous Wall of Fame, where they commemorate all the movies to win the Best Picture. The Great Crash, 2005, $1 Million Baby, of course, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, and then looking down, there's space to add this year's Best Picture, The Hobbit 3, which is destined to win this year, as you'll see later tonight. This is the famous Oscar Wall of Fame, where they list all the movies to win Best Picture. Over the years, you see Crash, $1 Million Baby, Lord of the Ring. And then over here, there's still space for them to put this year's Best Picture movie. If you look down there, over here, which is going to be, of course, we're hoping for, if we can just get over here, that's where they're going to have The Hobbit 3 is going to be commemorated. Come by here next year and see for yourself. Here's a sneak peek inside. If you ever wonder what it actually looks like in the Kodak Theater, Dolby Theater, this is the inside where the Oscars take place and where a lot of the movie stars would congregate before the ceremony or during the intermissions to discuss Oscar gold that they would hope they would be taking home tonight, or when the show is actually happening.
Okay, hi everybody. We are back, and listen, we're going to be getting into our first segment now that we're so excited. But thank you, Greg, for that. By the way, I got to ask you, was that the finished version that you sent in? Because I know there was a few problems with it, the Kodak thing. Did you?
Yeah, I didn't have the time because I've been working on Decker 2, and because one of my decks is what was my room is now your room. And I wasn't able to have access to both tape machines in order to cut that thing properly, but I still think the spirit of the segment was there, and it was pretty interesting.
It seems like you're going back to, I mean, if any longtime viewers out there, it seems like you're going back to the old script when you're walking around that Hollywood Boulevard. Maybe next time you do this, if you do this again, I'd say get some new energy in there.
But it's like the Oscars themselves. Every year you have a Best Picture, you have a Best Actor, you have a Best Actress. You're not going to throw that script out, and that's the way I feel about this behind-the-scenes segment.
Well, it's getting a little redundant. Why don't we get into
Well, it's
the
redundant when Tom Hanks wins an Oscar every year, but people love that.
He hasn't
Sometimes
won an award for
redundancy is
many
great.
years. Why don't we do this? We're going to go to the On Cinema Movie Awards. Now, this is an opportunity for us to recognize movies that get shafted every year by the Academy, and they really do. These are you'll enjoy this. This is almost like the People's Choice Awards, where you get unbelievable talent out there that gets shafted and gets ignored. And we're so excited to bring this to you throughout the night tonight. Stay with us as we explore and get into the business of On Cinema's Movie Awards.
Live from Broadcast West Studios in Culver City, California, it's the first annual On Cinema Movie Awards, presented by Chaplin's Chili. Please welcome your host. You know him from Life as a House, Kindergarten Cop, and Big Bad Beetleborgs, Tim Delgado.
Thanks, guys, and happy to be part of the production, and great working with you so far. I appreciate it. No, I really do. So if we're moving right along here, maybe they'd help me with my teleprompter so that I could see some of the words that I'm speaking to you live right here from our studio. I guess they're not going to do that. Oh, now they're doing it. All right. Well, now we've got a lot of stuff that we're getting out of the way, and it's time to get to our first award. Just like George Bush had Dan Quayle, Richard Nixon had Spiro Agnew, and Dwight Eisenhower had Richard Nixon, the great actors of our time need a supporting actor, someone who may not get all the glory, but surely puts in about as much of the work. The nominees for the Best Supporting Actor are Sir Ian McKellen, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies.
They won't see me. It's out of the question. I won't allow it.
Jamie Foxx, Annie.
I actually want 5-hour energy to go over there and scare this little child.
Joe Estevez, Decker.
Maybe it's too late. Maybe we should just surrender. Kingston, what do you think?
Mark Prost, Decker.
Die, you piece of shit!
Greg Turkington, Decker.
You gotta help us get open this code.
That's something I'm working on right now.
David Zayas, Annie.
Well, I play Lou, who's a bodega owner across the street.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Escape Plan.
Ich höre euch! Ihr Schweine! Ich höre euch! Ich bring euch alle um! Ich reiß euch meine Augen aus! Ich schneide eure Eier ab und stopf sie euch in den Arsch!
And the poppy goes to Sir Ian McKellen. Accepting on behalf of Sir Ian McKellen is Greg Turkington.
Hey.
Would you like, here's the award. Don't I get it? I should get a kiss. I think everybody, the host always gets a kiss. No kiss.
No kiss.
No kiss.
Finally, there's an award show that honors actors that haven't gotten their due in the Oscars this year. Sir Ian McKellen is the star of the Hobbit movies and Lord of the Rings. He deserves this award. On behalf of Sir Ian, I accept this award, and I'm glad we finally have a show by experts for experts that recognizes great performances in cinema. Thank you, Sir Ian.
Wonderful. Congratulations to Sir Ian McKellen and the whole Hobbit team. We'll be back in a bit for more awards. You got to take my word for that. And we're just getting started. Back to you guys.
Congratulations, Sir Ian McKellen. Congratulations to you, Greg, for picking up the nomination.
You know, normally you'd want yourself to win, but this is a situation where I was glad that Sir Ian won. I've got plenty of time to win an award for Decker 2 or something like that.
Sure.
But I tip my hat to Sir
Well,
Ian.
it's an honor to be nominated for the On Cinema Movie Awards. And now to spice things up, first, before we go to the next bit, I wanted to get your J.K. Simmons one, and I want to get your perspective on that, and that the first part of the Oscars that we missed.
You know, there's been a trend in recent years on the Oscars of trying to turn it into the Grammys. I feel that we don't need movies about music winning awards. I feel we don't need segments like the thing where the guy from Maroon 5 is performing music right
I thought
after
that was
he
in
gave an
bad
award.
taste.
I mean, Whiplash is a great movie. It's a concert movie, really. It's not something that should be getting awards. I think we need to get back to movies about characters that people care about and not just long drum solos and guitar solos. And it's like watching a Woodstock movie, and that shouldn't have won an Oscar either.
Well, Jake Simmons, mostly known for doing commercials and also being a part of movie history now that he's won the Academy Award. I want to bring it to our next segment, which is going to be a wonderful comedy routine from one of On Cinema's greatest stars.
I'm looking forward to this.
Greatest stars of,
From Golden
gotta-
Age comedies.
And we're going to take a break. We'd love to take a break right now, and we are back on track. Thank you so much for being a part. And I want to
What
talk
happened
a
to
little
the
bit
Golden
about.
Age comedies?
Shut up for a second. I'm talking. We're rewriting the book when it comes to live television right now. And we're doing such a good job handling what is a stressful situation. I was wondering, did you think? Now I hate to think of worst case scenarios, but in terms of there being an attack on the Oscars tonight, that is the worst case scenario tonight, don't you think? Because
Well, it
there's
is,
been a
'cause
lot
there's
of
so much
talk about
talent there.
ISIS and Charlie Hebdo and these bad terrorists who come out of the woodwork and rain terror on some of our greatest institutions. If they were to attack tonight, would it completely upset the Oscars? Or would it, I mean, obviously it would if you had bombs and shootings and things at the Oscars. I think that would be awful.
Well, it would
And
change
we
the
pray that
movies
that
that,
doesn't
we
happen
saw in
tonight.
the future, because a lot of the writers and directors of some of the series that have been popular would be gone, so you'd have to start from scratch. I don't know if the Bond people are at the Oscars tonight. They might be spared. In a way, it would sort of be a blessing in disguise for them. By never getting nominated for an Oscar, they would be spared from the terrorism.
I'm trying to word this the right way. If you were a part of the enemy, if you were an ISIS combatant, and you were able to sneak into the Academy Awards, who would you go after first?
I have to wait till the Oscars are over and see if anybody defeats The Hobbit. I mean, if somebody defeats The Hobbit, they would definitely be at the top of the list, because it's just unfair when you have a movie that's critically acclaimed, that's commercially acclaimed, for it to get shut out. And I already felt that Sir Ian not getting the Best Supporting Actor award was a slap in the face to all that is good about the movies.
Well, word of warning, let no one mess with our Oscars. And they hopefully they have the security to prevent such a horrible attack to happen.
Well, as you saw in my
But you never
segment, they
know.
do have good security there, and I think that we can sleep well tonight knowing that.
We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the On Cinema Oscar special. And my name is Tim Heidecker. I'm joined here with Greg Turkington. I hope everybody's
Hey,
back
guys.
on track. Do yourself a favor and pass this link now that everything is back on track technically. Go ahead and pass it around on the internet right now. Go ahead and do that right now and post it on all the websites that you use. I want to talk about our next segment. It's very exciting. You know, there's a guy that's been a part of On Cinema since the beginning. And he came on when Greg had ran the show for that one episode a couple weeks ago. And he had a segment called Golden Age Classics.
Golden Age comedy.
Golden Age Comedies,
Which
my
was
apologies.
really one of the more
Starring-
popular
and he does-
segments that we've had.
and it was starring a little-known comedian from the 20s called W.C. Fields, which created a tremendous negative response from our audience because people, hold on now, they did. I did the research on this. Nobody wanted to see W.C. Fields anymore because it's silent comedy, doesn't play so much on the internet age. So, but I do like him. His name is Mark Proch, and he is a successful comedian. He's an impersonator, and I've asked him to be a part of the Oscar special again. But this time he's going to mix it up again. And he's going to mix it up with impressions of some more popular comedy starring the Three Stooges. And let me kick it over to one of the Stooges here in our studio tonight, Mr. Mo from the Three Stooges.
Mo Howard
Right.
from the Three Stooges.
Sorry, I don't know their last names. Why would I know their last names?
Well, they're pretty famous.
It's Mo, Larry, and Curly as the Three Stooges, not Mo Howard. Hit it, Mark.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mo Howard. Welcome, and I'm so happy you're here. Yuck, 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 yuck. I just wanted to say, you probably know me from a couple of our films, Start Cheering, and the other one we called Four for Texas. I had a friend that came up to me the other day, and he was like, "Hey, there's a lot of violence on TV today in this day and age." And he said, "What do you think about that?" And I was like, "Well, in my day, you had the Tom and Jerry and other cartoons that were very violent. It wasn't a big deal. And so people bring up a lot of shows that are very violent, like Dexter and 24. And I mean, it changes as people, as the the context of the actual movie. It changes as with each generation. I hope you stay tuned for some of my good friends, the other two Stooges.
That's pretty good, huh? That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Keep going, Mark, please.
A lot of times we would use big wrenches or oversized scissors, but no one ever really got hurt. I died in 1975.
All right. That was Mark Proch doing Mo Howard.
That was cool, because he's going to do all three Stooges
Yeah.
tonight.
Sound
You
like-
can't do them all at once,
I
obviously,
know,
he's one
it
person.
sounded a little like Curly there for a while, with all the whoop-whoop-whoops and whatnot.
No, that was,
But,
was Mo. If you're a Stooge head, you can tell them apart.
Yeah. Part of that was the hair, but I think, well, we'll see where it goes, but it is interesting to see the Stooges in that way. So we'll be right back after this word, and enjoy the Oscars. We'll be back real soon with some more segments. We got Mike Huckabee coming up in a few minutes, and more On Cinema Oscars, Greg's special guest, and a sneak peek at Decker Season 2 on internet. Hey everybody, thanks for sticking with us, and again, we apologize for all the technical difficulties. Live television is sort of like going to the zoo and seeing some of the wild animals. You can't control them. You can't control the wild beasts of the lions and the tigers that, well, you can't control them. I'm talking, people in the zoo can control whoever they want with drugs and chains and bars, but my point is, we lost control earlier, but we have control back now. We're going to do a fun segment right now that Greg Turkington has put together, and it is a on-location segment, but it's not what you expect. In fact, Greg has determined that he is going to Middle Earth to report on the comings and goings from down under in Middle Earth, almost a Little Italy. And that would be a different movie, Goodfellas. Yeah, this would be from Middle Earth, from Little Lord of the Rings. And Greg, where are you now?
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of On Cinema at the Cinema on Location. And today we're here in Middle Earth, the setting and the place where they filmed not only the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but the Hobbit trilogy as well. And as you can tell, it's quite a beautiful place to be. There aren't a lot of shelves here in which to place Oscars, but one day they'll bring those in too. This is the very area where Bilbo Baggins did his magical tricks and charmed an audience worldwide with one of the most successful franchises in movie history. And it's just great being here, wandering through Middle Earth. This is every cinema buff's dream, and I'm living it now, here in Middle Earth. Tim, you should really come and visit Middle-earth. It's pretty neat if you're a fan of the Hobbit series. Hopefully later tonight you will see Mr. Peter Jackson wandering from Middle-earth in New Zealand onto this Oscar stage to collect his statuette. Tim, do you want to come and... Now he's going to leave the Shire. Do you want to... This... I can't see anything. This is Fangorn Forest, which of course is one of the key settings, not only in the Lord of the Rings movies, but in the Hobbit movies as well. It's fun to take a wander through it and experience life as they did back in Tolkien's time. This is Rivendell, folks, where, of course, probably my favorite scene in the trilogy took place. I can't see what, I can't really see what the, where.
Let's see, where are you now?
I can't see anything now.
We should go to commercial, I think. We can go to
Yeah.
commercial.
Can't really
Go to
see.
commercial because he's not seeing where he is.
The segment's kind of ruined.
If he can't see where he is, then he can't talk about where he is. Welcome back to the On Cinema Oscar special. We are live. We are really in the thick of it here. What a wonderful show this has been for audience members watching online. Sometimes the Oscars themselves get to be a little dusty, a little too produced. And this, what we've been able to do is find that perfect medium of professionalism and creativity and that sort of DIY spirit that exists so much in the audience, in the audience perspective. But please get online and share your opinions about these wonderful Oscars. Every year we go through Oscar fever. And I want to thank the wonderful band of who I didn't get a chance to meet earlier because of all the energy going into preparing for this. What a wonderful job they did on Oscar fever from the beginning of the show. We're going to have a fun time now. I want to thank a couple of Decker heads who showed up here. Can we see the Decker heads? Are they online? Can we show the Decker heads? They're with us tonight. Why don't you stand up and come on? Camera 5. Can we show Decker heads? Just stand up! Now these kids came in from, where'd you come in from? Huh? Anaheim. That's a good distance. That's down by Disneyland.
Where's Kingston?
Well, Kingston's not a major character from Decker, so we didn't include him. We have President Davidson, raise your hand, and Jack Decker himself on the case. Very cool. Speaking of Decker, I want to talk to you guys about Decker Season 2 real quick, and I don't want this to be a big promotional push, but we do want to make this an exclusive experience for everybody here because you guys have stuck around and you've made it worth your while to stick around. I'm going to reward you with what I consider to be American Classic, which is Season 2 of Decker, which is coming March 9th on a website of Adult Swim. Let's just take an exclusive look. Greg, what did you think? You're just getting involved with Decker 2 right now.
I've done some writing and, well, I'm not going to give anything away, but it's going to be a good season.
Let's take a look at Season 2 trailer for Decker Season 2, starring Tim Heidecker, Joe Estevez, and
Greg
a number
Turkington. And this is an world exclusive premiere.
That's right. So the first time you're going to see this.
Decker! This is my oldest and closest friend, Decker. I can't believe I finally talked you into a vacation, man. You look like you need one.
I'm here to have fun and party and see old friends like you, Lenoy. Don't you understand? I've done enough for this country. It's time for me to have a break and have vacation. Hey, shit, the bomb. We gotta get it airborne. I guess this vacation's over.
Pretty cool.
Well, what do you think?
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, because you didn't get a chance to see that. I think, what was your first reaction?
Well, I mean, you know, I've been on the set. I've seen what you're capable of as a director and actor and producer and writer, and I really feel strongly that next year it won't just be the On Cinema Awards that Decker will win. It will be actual Oscars, especially with The Hobbit out of the game.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go. Speaking of awards, let's go to another installment of the On Cinema Movie Awards hosted by Kim Delgado. And Kim, we're cutting it over to you. I hope you're ready for the next segment, which is, I believe, an exciting category. Let's take a look.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Kim Delgado. You know, what a night it's been so far, and you gotta take my word for it. We're just getting started. Let's get the ball rolling, shall we? Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson. These are some of Hollywood's leading actors, also known as stars. And they're not just called that because they shine bright. They also star in movies that are beloved around the world. Here are the nominees for the Best Lead Actor. Martin Freeman, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies.
I'll go.
Don't be ridiculous.
Tim Heidecker, Decker.
One of these has a plan for them to blow up the the Super Bowl.
Tom Cruise, The Edge of Tomorrow. Aaron Eckhart, I, Frankenstein.
Unless you can animate that corpse. Tiberius has been planning this for centuries. Victor Frankenstein just made it possible.
Pierce Brosnan, November Man. And the city goes to Tim Heidecker. Wow. Congratulations, Tim.
Thank you very much.
What a
Kim.
fantastic night.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you. It's my speech. Thank you very much.
But
Thank you very much, everybody. And this one is going out to the wonderful work that I did on Decker's, the first Decker. And thank you guys so much for being supportive of my work. And Kim, you're doing a wonderful job hosting the On Cinema Movie Awards. And I'm going to cherish this. And thank you, everybody.
big hand for Timmy. Hey, hey. This is a special part of the show where we recognize someone who's made an indelible impact on the world of movies.
All right, we're going to come back to that. Thank you so much, Kim, for being a big part. One for one. Or one, well, actually, for a second I thought that I forgot. You were just holding that for, you should get that off your mantle. It's not. It makes it seem like you've won an award. Throw that away. We can give that to Sue and Amy McKell and have somebody hold that from later.
Congratulations. What was the, I didn't get any ballots or anything. How were we choosing these for the On Cinema Awards? How were we choosing the winners?
Who's we?
What was the voting protocol?
Well, these are awards awarded by the On Cinema but from
I know, but I didn't really know about this segment. And how were these awards chosen?
all right. Well, we're gonna head to we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna check in with Mark Proch, one of the Stooges from Three Stooges. Boy, and people are wondering what this is. It looks like a brain, but it's supposed to be a popcorn, a movie. You got one right there, a kernel of corn. That would be, you'd be eating corn. Popcorn, that's why we call it the cornies, or the cinnies.
Poppies.
Shit. The poppies, as in popcorn. So it's been an interesting night. We've been having a lot of fun, and I gotta be honest with you, Mike Huckabee is a no-show, and we've been talking about him being a part of the show for weeks now, and now it's like he's not here. And this is the part of the show that we decided we were going to do music. We were going to do. I was going to play an Oscar medley with Mike, and this is a personal message to Mike. As much as I respect you, as much as I loved your book, you disgraced me, and you disgraced this audience for not showing up. You are not a man of character, and there's absolutely no way that I'm going to be supporting you as president of the United States. You just made a #1 enemy. I'm going to be supporting anybody else. Mike Huckabee is a loser in my book. All right? And I'd vote for anybody else but Mike Huckabee for president. So here's what we're going to do. I was going to sing a medley of music from Oscar, and the problem with that is the bass led the way. What's your name?
Brian.
Brian?
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing a new song because I got a message that's been on my mind. Are we getting sound here? Keyboard? We got the keyboard running? I can't hear a keyboard out here. I can't play if I can't hear a keyboard. Let me make sure this is working. Okay, thank you. I got a lot going on, and this is a great opportunity for me to express myself to somebody that might be watching right now, Ayaka. And we got a lot of weird tweets saying that people thought that she was here tonight. She's not. We have a Chinese person that works on the show, and it's racist of you to think that just because there's an Asian person on the show that would be Ayaka. It's not. She's not with me. But she must be watching because she said she would support this tonight. And this is just, and I want everybody to know that I miss Ayaka. And Ayaka, if you're watching right now, there's a number on the screen. It's my cell phone. Okay? And I want you to call it because I need to speak with you. Ayaka, are you watching me right now? Ayaka, are you watching me right now? I love you so much, it's driving me insane. I need you so much, you're driving me insane. Oh, you're gone. Hold on a second. Okay. Hello? Okay, I had to. Hello? Hello? Ayaka? Hold on. Okay, don't call. Is this guy Ayaka? There's a lot of people calling. Okay, ignore. Don't call. If you please not call if you're not Ayaka. Okay, hold on a minute. Ignore it. Everybody's calling. Don't call. Please put the phone. If you're watching this right now, turn this mic off. If you're watching this right now, don't call unless you're. Hello? Yeah. How do you? This is a man's voice, so ignore. Okay.
Tim, if it's not a Japanese number, don't answer it.
Hello?
Hello?
It's a man's voice. Hold on. Ignore. Answer. Hey, Ayaka? Hello? Okay. I'll answer this one. 607. What area code is that?
I don't know. I don't think it's Japan.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay. You can't call. If you have a man's voice, it's not going to make any sense. Okay. Hello?
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we go to Curly Howard from the Three Stooges? Hello? Oh, Ayaka. Is that you? Hello?
Can I speak to Ayaka?
No, Jesus. Okay. If you're calling me as a prank, it's not. It's disrespectful. I ask that you respect my Hello? Hey, is this Ayaka?
Hello?
Oh, okay. Ignore. All right. Okay, ignore. Can we turn this off? Why don't you kill the number on the screen? Okay. This is 314, is that?
I don't know.
Hello? All right. You have to take the number off the screen. It's supposed to be for Ayaka or Mike Huckabee if he calls. Hello? Okay. Can we go to, this is, ladies and gentlemen, I can't, how do you turn this is a Nokia. I don't know how to try to turn this off. I'm an iPhone guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Curly Howard.
Hey, Mom, knock it off! Hey, Larry, what are you doing, Larry? Don't put her... Ah! Hey! Hey, Mo, what you doing?
Okay, okay.
Hey, Mo, what you doing? I'm gonna... You... Hey, Mo, what you doing?
Hello? Okay.
Hello?
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 All right, can I ask, somebody has to take this from me and turn this sound off.
Hello?
Because everybody's calling. Let me ask the audience one question. Please respect what I'm asking you and stop calling this number here. Okay? Hello?
Hello, Tim?
Yeah, who's this?
Hello, Tim?
All right, I can't do this. You got to stop. You have to respect my wishes. Let's go to break while we figure this out. Hello? Ayaka?
Hey, this is Ayaka.
Yeah.
I got a nose job.
You.
Hey guys, welcome back to the On Cinema Oscar special. Tonight we're doing something a little special. We're presenting the pilot premiere episode of a new show that I'm trying to sell to some of the film networks. The name of the show is On Cinema, On Directors. On Cinema, On Directors is a new chat show where I speak with some of the directors of our time who made the movies that have created memories that will last forever. Now, a little bit later on the On Cinema Oscar special, I've got a very special guest, one of the all-time legends of Hollywood, an Oscar winner themselves, and that's going to blow your minds. That's going to make international headlines. But before we get to that, let me introduce the pilot episode, live pilot episode of On Cinema on Directors. Today, my guests are two of the great directors of our times. From the movie Yes Man, Mr. Peyton Reed. Thanks for being a guest today.
Greg, thanks so much. It's great to be here.
And from the motion picture Decker, Tim Heidecker.
Good to see you. Good to
Tim,
see
how are you?
Nice to meet you.
You too.
How are you, Greg?
Good.
I'll take
Thanks
some
for
of this.
being a guest here on my new show.
This is unbelievable.
Thanks for having
yeah,
us.
I think this is great. I love this.
This is a chance for directors to really talk about their craft and educate the movie-going public as to what goes into making these great blockbusters. So, Peyton, what led you into directing movies?
Something I had been interested in since I was a kid, and my parents got me a Super 8 movie camera when I was a kid, so I just always loved shooting film, and I loved watching movies too, as I'm sure you probably did as well, Tim.
And
So,
Tim, what led you into directing movies?
Well, it's you have an idea, and you want to see that idea exactly the way you picture it in your mind. So you got to take charge. You got to be the one to seize the moment. And if I felt like I was going to give Decker over to somebody like you who is going to just do their job, show up 9 to 5, and just try to get the job done, it's going to lose the magic that we provided. And I felt like that was my responsibility to direct my own vision.
What is the hardest thing about directing?
Well, it's sort of it's a marathon and a sprint all at once. You've got to you're there every day. You're there in prep, and you're there when you're shooting, and then when you're editing. So endurance is a big thing, and also just kind of you got to have, I think, as Tim said, a vision for the thing that you're doing.
Yeah, I said that already.
And you have to have like a real enthusiasm for what it is, because you're on a movie for, I don't know how long it took you guys to do your
2 weeks
your
for
thing.
the first one.
So you're on like, say 2 weeks to a year or something like that, and you've really got to be psyched about it.
Yeah, I was.
How does a director get the best performance out of his actors? Tim, let's go to you for a minute.
Well, I luckily get to work. As a director, I get to work with one of the best actors in the business myself. So I don't have to worry about, is he going to do a great job? Now, I also get to work with Joe Estevez, who I'm friends with, and I can talk to him at length about the part, and we can work as long as it takes to get it right.
Special Agent Kington.
And Kington and Greg Turkington, as you know, did a good job, but that was because I played mind tricks. I used psychology to get him to do a great job. So you got to use all your tricks.
Yeah, I'll actually kind of build on what Tim was saying, is that it is one of the great joys of directing, to work with talented actors and things. And I will say, Tim, I was, I checked out some of the Decker stuff, and I particularly the performances that you got, and particularly I'll have to say, Greg, that performance was really fantastic. And then when I sort of saw the cinema thing and sort of how you went about that, there's a long history, of directors pulling all sorts of stunts to try and get performances out of actors or non-actors, and that, I have to say, that strategy that you used with sort of, filming him without him really knowing, I thought was kind of genius. I thought it was really smart, and the performance, I thought was really.
I can't say the same for yourself, because I didn't get a chance to see all the movies you did, but it seems like you're a nice guy. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Do you guys have picks for Best Picture of the year? Tim?
Well, I got to go with Escape Plan, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and the other from Rocky. That was the best movie of the year.
Sylvester Stallone. From Rocky and Rocky 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
And Rocky Balboa. Peyton, any best picks for the
Yeah, listen, I love Boyhood. I thought Boyhood was great. I'd be happy to see that win Best Picture.
Not too likely.
Well, yeah, you never know. You never know. The Academy works,
What I'm finding out from my sources at the Academy is that The Hobbit is going to be sort of a surprise stealth nomination, via the write-in vote, which has been used throughout our democracy for many presidents to win, and also for Oscar movies such as Kramer versus Kramer in 1979, which won via the write-in vote. And I am told that this year the Hobbit is going to win the write-in vote.
Well,
so
Greg,
you guys are wrong.
Let me actually. That's not entirely accurate. You know, I'm actually in the Academy, and there's a very specific sort of methodology you do. Like early on, you know, you can sort of, if you're a director, you vote on the director category and all those things. But by the time the nominations are out, it's really impossible to have a write-in category. If enough people had written it in, it would have probably won the nomination.
That's what I was
No,
telling
because
I told him about that.
Because this is America, this is democracy.
Yeah.
You can vote for anything. That would be crazy to exclude movies that earned the right to win
Yeah.
this award.
No, and listen, I think
and
that
that's
probably,
why you can write it in. If
I'm
you
sure
bring
some
a
of the
That's what the
members-
box office is for. I mean, that's what big famous movies don't get win all the kinds
But when
of
you
awards.
voted, there's space on the paper, on the ballot, to write in whatever movie that you want, and that's what most of the voters have done this year.
Well, when you initially vote for the nominations, you can nominate movies, but by the time all the votes are tallied for what final 5 to 10 are going to be nominated, there's really not a write-in space at that
So
point.
there's no blank space on there to write or to cross out all the other
Listen, I
nominations.
suppose you could
and
create
add-
one, but there's not, no, not really. But
Well, yeah, if you can create one, that's what people would do.
listen, I suppose it's not impossible, but
It's not an
probably
electronic
unlikely.
vote, it's paper, so you can write in anything
Well,
that
they
you
do
want.
have an online voting system now that's
And it has
actually,
a space for write-in votes, or for you to add any titles that you feel should be the winner.
I don't remember seeing it, but you may be right. But I don't think that's
Yeah, because
the
I've
case,
got,
actually.
you know, I found out for sure that The Hobbit as a write-in vote got between 53 and 59% of the votes this year. And so you're going to see it win this year. So
All right.
I've
Yeah,
got,
I don't. Yeah, well, I guess we'll agree to disagree on that, but it's. Let's see. Listen, it's a terrific movie. I know you.
oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's great. Actually,
kind
all
of awards
six of
did
the
you ever win?
Hobbit, 6 Hobbit movies were terrific.
Huh?
Peyton, this question is for you. Everyone's talking about Decker. It's one of the highlights of the season last year.
Best movie of the year.
What would you have done differently if you had directed Decker? This is kind of a fun question for Tim to listen to.
Well, that's actually that's kind of a slippery
home?
slope. That's kind of it's very tough for one director to sit next to another. Every director has a different style, so it's kind of particularly when it's finished. Now, if Tim were to say to me, "Hey, I've got a rough cut of a movie or a show. I want you to check it out and give me some notes." That's one thing, but you know, it's done, so it's kind of weird to. give.
I'd tell you what you'd say. You'd say, no notes. It's the best movie I've ever seen. So, God bless you for checking in. But who's this guy? Where did you get
Well,
this guy from?
I'm not saying it would be you do it
Where's
any
this
different.
guy from? I mean, I'd seen this Yes Man movie once on TBS, but
Well,
Jim
I mean,
Carrey.
it's not.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Decker's
No, I'm
terrific.
pardon me, but I mean, how do you know anybody? Who do you bring? Who do you bring in?
There are
Who is this you're bringing in?
There are a handful of shows.
How do
Can,
you know
can I
that-
just say
no,
now that he
no,
has
you-
asked the
no,
question?
you've said enough.
I would have
Greg,
probably
shut up for a
a
sec.
few less motorcycle
Fine.
riding shots. Would have been just.
All right. Well, I'll
Those
tell
are
you
pretty
what.
popular,
I'm going
but
to ask you
yeah,
a
I've
question.
also
You answer
heard
me
from
honestly. How
some
do you
people
know
that
this guy?
Well, this is.
Well, I mean, because
How
this
do you
is
know this
direct-
guy? You don't talk no more.
The show's called
I
On
wanna know from
Director,
you-
so we talked.
I want to know from you what kind of setup this is. How do you know who this is? Why did you bring him here today? How do you know
Because
who
I'm
he
trying
is?
to make the best pilot I can by
Who-
getting advice and information from top directors of
How do you
I
know
can-
him?
if you
Let me
want,
ask it. Then you're not going to answer me straight. You answer me honestly. How do you know this asshole?
All right. Well, it's kind of an exciting thing to. I watched Decker and thought again that you directed Greg in a terrific performance.
Yeah,
and,
I know I did.
You know, my casting people and I were always looking for sort of exciting new people, so we will go on the internet and sort of scour the internet for people, and you know, she sort of turned me on to Decker. And I saw Greg. I'm sorry if is it Kingston or Kington? I cannot. It's Kingston. The
Yeah,
character.
it's King-
Yeah. So
Kingston.
I saw his performance as Kingston, and I was like,
Kington.
his performance as Kington, and I was like, I think this guy's terrific. And I was directing this movie Ant-Man for Marvel, and I was like, there's a scene that I think this guy would be perfect for. I can't talk too much about it, but it's a scene with Paul Rudd, and so I got in touch with Greg, and I was like, I want you to be in Ant-Man, and we.
When are you doing this?
We shot it in the fall. We started principal photography, I guess, mid-August, and wrapped December, and I think you came down. Was it November or
November? You were in
remember.
Jackson Hole, and you weren't talking to me, and you weren't doing.
But it's the kind of thing that, again, as a director, like
I was just trying to. I mean, this was a lot of fun to be on a movie set.
But as a director, to see that, and
Hold on a minute,
I got to.
You're in a movie with
Paul Rudd. Yeah, he's a great, and I can't reveal
Is it
who
a
Greg
joke?
plays.
Is this a prank?
I'm sorry. I mean,
You're in a movie with this guy, with Paul Rudd and whoever?
no, he's
I'm
not.
not in the movie. I directed the movie, and it's
You did this while I was away in Jackson Hole?
coming out July 17th. It's Marvel's Ant-Man with Paul Rudd,
So you two are together now as a
Michael
team?
Douglas, and
You two are the team now, and I'm a guy on the outside?
Well, no, Greg just came and did a role in the
Why
movie.
don't you ask me to be in the movie?
Because you wouldn't.
Well, there was
make
a
sense.
there was sort of a specific part that was, we saw Greg and he just
Well,
seemed
good
like
meeting
he would
you.
be,
I gotta go. And thank you very much. Happy Oscars. I gotta go.
Thank you for watching On Cinema on Directors.
This comes out July 17th.
July 17th. Ant-Man comes out July 17th. Let's go to break.
You not told him?
No, he's really touchy. He's really touchy.
Sorry, I just assumed that you probably had told him.
Welcome back to the On Cinema Oscar special starring Tim Heidecker, myself as the host, only host of the show, because Greg Turkington set me up. I hate to say it. He's welcome back, but right now he's licking his wounds because I think he's looking himself in the mirror and knowing that what he did to me was as much a disgrace as you can do to a man. And I've been completely thrown under the bus by Mike Huckabee. I've been completely thrown under the bus by Greg Turkington. And I've been completely thrown under the bus by the technical crew that puts this show together because the first half of the show is a complete disaster. And I apologize to everybody. But we continue to make a great show. And Greg Turkington, if you're watching, you are welcome back. I do respect you. And you are welcome in my house. But I'll tell you one thing about Peyton Reed. He will never get a bag of popcorn in my book for any movie he makes, whether it be Ant-Man, Bugman, Flyman, No Man, sequel to Yes Man by Jim Carrey. No Man it should have been called because it was a dog. And 0 bags of popcorn for all Peyton Reed's movies because he thought better than to cast me in that Ant-Man crap. Greg Turkington is going to fall flat on his face in that movie. And everyone's going to boycott that movie. And I don't want any On Cinema family members to see that crap. Let's go moving on to the On Cinema Movie Awards with Kim Delgado. Kim, take it away.
Welcome back. Now, this is a special part of the show where we recognize someone who's made an indelible impact on the world of movies, past, present, and future. A prolific artist who lives to share his talents with the world and keep us entertained through thick and thin. To date, he's been in over 265 movies, and that's just the ones he tells us about. Tonight, I am proud to present the On Cinema Lifetime Achievement Award presented by Chaplin's Chili to the one and only Joe Estevez.
There it is. I'm getting that sheen on my face again. Oh, God. And I saw myself in close-up, and I realized what you can say with just a look, just a turn of the head, a wink of the eye, just a frown or a smile, it speaks volumes. That in stage, it takes you so much more to do. It was that moment, really, that I fell in love with film, that I appreciated it.
Do you have knowledge of a specific crime committed by any police officer in the intelligence unit?
Tom, I'm not going to answer any questions until I talk to an attorney.
I couldn't do anything else, you know. I could pretend to do other things, but I was never good at anything. I love to act, and it's a very natural place for me to be.
Come on, Frank. We've been here for an hour and a half.
Phyllis, shut up, Phyllis! Yes, shut up! What? I love you, boy! That's why I do this! That's why I do this! Stand up like a man! Drop the ball again, son!
We have God inside us. We have the Holy Spirit inside of us. And the more, what is positiveness but love? And the more loving we are, the more God-like we are. Am I blabbering too much? This is a journey. It's a journey that we're on. Nobody punishes us. We punish ourselves, you know.
Do you think they would let me in? Do you think they would let me in at pearly gates? What you saw through that window, you actually really didn't see.
I know what I saw, Mr. Maloney!
I was just trying to make her proud of herself, make her proud to be a woman.
I'm George the Best. God bless.
किस समय चीख रही थी
לא צעקה, אני צעקתי, אני נבהלתי, היא הבירה אותי, סתם שוכבת פה, עושה את עצמה. אני רוצה ללכת.
Hi, yes, we'd like Mr. Decker's copter on the White House lawn immediately.
That's the first smartest thing you've done all day.
What the heck was that? Wow. So that's a real live sea serpent.
There's no guarantee that, you know, you're gonna be an A-lister or that you're gonna make $1 billion. Well, so there's no, you got a better chance of winning the lottery, a lot better chance.
I thought you said you were gonna catch it! Ah!
Hey, so you kids are enjoying the old hot tub, huh?
Yeah, Dad.
To be a working actor, being paid, living comfortably, if you have faith in yourself and you follow that faith, it's going to work. You're going to be working.
Joe Estevez, everybody. Joe.
Wow, thank you, Tim. Wow.
This is it here. And so we're going to present to you the first On Cinema Oscar movie special, the Lifetime Achievement Award. So.
Oh my God. Oh my. Wow. Would you? I'm speechless.
I know you are.
I'm speechless.
Bring
Wow.
out, you know, I want to make an apology right now to Greg Turkington. Bring him on. Bring him on. And I apologize for getting upset about them. Congratulations. No, I know. Congratulations on being in the movie. That's fantastic. And the reason I cast you in Decker is because I think you're a good actor. Okay, so that makes sense that asshole put you in his movie, and it's disrespectful to me, but what he did, but that had nothing to do with what you did. Okay, the choices you make, you got to go out there and kill it. But I'm glad you're here because, Joe, you deserve this.
Oh, hey.
Congratulations.
Good to see you there.
Award.
Thank you. Bye.
Can you get a
Guys,
close-up
just
of this? Look at the whole
look
thing
at
here.
that.
And it looks like somebody I know, except without the mustache.
Look at that.
And
You
these are
know?
all your movies, and that's it. That's the
Yeah.
Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement Award. But of course, you're going to keep making movies because this guy is in Jackass 2.
You knucklehead.
I mean, Decker 2, I should say.
There's room on the back for more movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I thought after we lost a best supporting actor, but
yeah,
wow,
that wasn't my decision.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's all send Joe
But
congratulations.
Syrian
Joe, how can
McClellan
people
is quite
send you
good.
congratulations on
Well,
Twitter?
just hold good thoughts for me, and
How about we
maybe
do thanks Joe,
if
hashtag thanks Joe on
you mean
Twitter.
the
So.
director's telephone number or something, my resume or something.
This is unbelievable, and thank you guys. We'll be back real soon with more On Cinema Oscar special.
Thank you. God, wow. I'm not really. Thank you.
Welcome back to the On Cinema Oscar special. I'm Tim Heidecker, joined by Greg Turkington, who has done the right thing and apologized to me for throwing me under the bus. I want to cheers to you and apologize for, I want to open a new bottle of champagne here. Oh. Okay. That was fun. And I think we can say that we are dealing with the live stuff right now. This is not the junk. We want to thank the audience for sticking with us all night long here as we celebrate Oscar heaven. And congratulations to Joe Estevez for his Lifetime Achievement Award, which he deserves. I want to thank our sponsor, Joe's Chili, Chaplin's Chili. Chaplin's Chili. Joe's Chili would be something that Joe and I could talk about later. Joe's Chili. Chaplin's Chili. Thank you very much. What's your name again? Ryan? Hank. Hank's joining us from Chaplin's Chili here in Chaplin, Chicago.
No,
Chaplin,
it's local.
No, it's a Hollywood
And Greg
company.
set this up. Why don't you talk to him about that stupid chili? Sick, made me sick earlier.
That wasn't Chaplin's Chili. Chaplin's Chili. It's a
Cold
place that
medicine.
I
I
go
can't
to
drink
for
cold
lunch a
medicine
lot.
with dues.
It's really best chili in LA, and of course
Chaplin's Chili,
having
yeah.
the Charlie Chaplin logo involved is what attracted.
Is
me
Mark back
originally,
there?
But I love the chili.
Mark, you should do Charlie Chaplin for us tonight.
I'm eating.
Huh?
I'm eating.
I'm saying you should do Charlie Chaplin for us. Hold on a minute. I got some. We got some props.
Was Chaplin chili? Is that Charlie Chaplin's original recipe?
Actually,
Hey, Mark!
Chaplin's.
Do Charlie Chaplin for us, as a respect to Joe here from from Chaplin's Chili. Here.
I thought I was.
Curly does Charlie Chaplin. That's
I was just doing.
Here, you do Charlie Chaplin. That's how we get the big audience for big. Well, things changed. I didn't know I was going to get thrown on the bus because of Ant-Man.
So is this the original? Is this Charlie Chaplin's recipe?
Actually,
Get
it's
back
called
in your
Chaplin's
seat.
Chili, but it's
Get back
our
in your
founder
seat right now. We're going to stand by. Take that stupid Larry wig off. And do Charlie Chaplin. Asshole. Here you go. All right, now do Charlie Chaplin, dummy.
Chaplin's Chili was founded by Tom Chaplin. It's in North Hollywood. It's a restaurant. And we're happy to be the sponsors of the On Cinema movie special.
I need a fork.
Hey, when Joe got that award, he was supposed to get a $100 gift certificate
sure.
from Chaplin's Chili. And
Yeah, we have
I was
some gift
supposed to
certificates
present it
here.
to him on the show, but we got carried.
Yeah.
If you could give that to Joe, 'cause
Sorry.
I know he does like his chili.
I didn't know there was. It's been a lot of technical difficulties. I thought I was
He
going
only
to go
gets
on in
one,
a half
'cause
an
we have
hour.
to give one to some of our other guests.
Here,
All
I'd
right,
like
let's
to
come back
present
to me
you,
at the set, on set.
$100 gift
cinema.
certificate. We're
Shut
happy to be.
Shut up! All right, now I believe somebody just told me, a little birdie just told me that Joe Estevez has a surprise for me, as I deserve. Joe?
Yes.
I'll save these for somebody
Present
else.
me with my surprise.
Oh, yes. I'm coming over. Coming through. Coming through.
Mark, you better get ready for Larry.
Okay.
He's coming up right now.
Can I sit here for a moment?
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, when I was a kid, late teens, early 20s, all the young folks, they wore this little thing around the neck. It was kind of like a mock turtleneck, and it was called a dickie, a dickie.
All right.
So I thought, and then they went out of style, and well, I thought now, in the advent with Decker and such a great success this is, we could bring it back. But instead of the Dickie, we can call it the Decker.
The Decky. Call it the Decky.
The Decky. So here you go. Here it is, the prototype, okay? Here you go. This is the first of one of many. I'm sure all your fans are going to want that. That's the Decker.
Oh, okay.
That's the Decker. There you go. See? Yeah. And yeah, see there? Look. Looks like it. Huh? That's the first of many. That's the Decker.
All right, that's it. That's enough. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. All right.
That's good very much. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
Congratulations on your
All right.
your Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you.
Good enough for Joe Estevez.
All
everybody.
right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thank you very much for coming on board. That's enough.
I leave?
You can go have as much chili as you want.
Thank you.
He's disrespectful to me. He really disrespects me on my show. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce Greg. Get over here. Hey, get over here. We're going to introduce one of my favorite stooges, Larry Fine. Thank you very much, Larry Fine, for joining us in the Oscar special. Larry, who do you think should win Best Picture?
I don't know very much about films, but I will say that one of our best films was The Captain That Hated the Sea. Don't come over here, Mo, and stay away from me, Curly. I don't want you guys hitting me. A lot of times, people are wondering, Larry, whatever happened to you? Well, I died in 1975 of a stroke. And before that, we had a resurgence of our films. A lot of college kids found our films to be counterculture. Woo, 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 woo. I want to thank Greg Turkington for having me here tonight. And I want to thank you guys for all your support for my golden age of comedy classics. Another thing you didn't know about Larry is that he moved to Los Angeles in the 70s from New York. There was a PBS show, a Mike Douglas show with Mo Howard in it that you can find on YouTube. A lot of the people think that the stunts hurt, but they never hurt. We always used rubber hammers and foam wrenches. But I died. I died in 1975. Had a long marriage, almost 50 years of marriage, and a lot of people don't know that Mo and Curly were brothers. But before 1975, I had a lot of fun, and my last movie was in the 50s. And after that, I became kind of, again, a counterculture representative with the Three Stooges. Mo, don't do that. Mo, don't do that. I would often say. I would also do a lot of, I want
to poke him in the eye like that, like Mo would.
Don't ever.
Thank you, Mark. You've been killing us all night. I appreciate all the work you've done.
Thank you, and thank you for having me in. I know that you didn't like the WC, but I'm happy that you like the Three Stooges so much.
I would watch that all night long, but we got much more show to do, so stick around. We got a big surprise ready for you.
Thank you.
When it comes to, give Mark a round of applause.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. Look at this. Curly. Do Curly now.
Woo!
I wish I was in the, maybe I'll do Larry and you do Curly.
Because I was doing Larry. I was doing Larry.
Let me do Larry. Let me do Larry.
I was doing Larry.
All right, we'll be back with more Mark Brooks. Excuse me?
Yeah, it is. Hi.
Who's this?
Is Ayaka?
It doesn't sound like Ayaka. She's a foreign accent. Can I ask everybody to stop calling this number unless you're Ayaka? I missed a call earlier. Shut up. The number was put up erroneously, and we apologize for putting that number up. I'm asking the people in the booth to stop putting that number up because there's no reason. She knows how to contact me. It was a mistake to put up the number. 281-683.
That could be Japan.
Hello? Hello? Ayaka? Hello? Stop calling the number. 'Cause we're getting too many calls. Is this Ayaka? Hello? I can't get the speaker.
If it's not a Japanese prefix, don't answer it.
Is this Ayaka?
Yes, it is.
It's a man's voice. Damn it. All right, put this away and stop calling. Have respect. You're supposed to be.
Stop calling, Tim. I want you to come home.
Shut the f up. End call. I don't know how to. This is a Nokia crap phone. You take it. Put that away.
I don't want to talk to these people
No.
unless they're movie buffs.
Turn the. I can't. I don't know how to turn the phone off. That's part of the problem.
Hello.
All right. Nobody wants to watch you talk to somebody on the phone.
Well,
Throw
if
the
it's
phone
Ayaka,
away.
they would, but they.
Can you stop calling? Just everybody stop calling that number. That's all you got to do. You should be watching the Oscars, and you should be watching.
Hello.
Turn that off.
Hello. Who is this?
Hello.
Give me that. Okay. All you got to do is hit ignore. Okay. All All right, maybe this could be her. Hold on. Hello? Ayaka?
This is her.
Oh, hello?
Was that her?
It's me, I promise.
It doesn't sound like
I'm
a
here
foreign
for you.
accent. Yeah, but you don't have a foreign accent, so it's not you. I know Ayaka's voice. This is a prank call.
If it's
Stop
not her
calling.
number on the screen, then don't answer it. If it's
I don't
not
know her
Japanese-
number. She changed
But it would
it.
have a Japanese prefix.
All right.
That's Nashville.
Can
that
we
you
do?
answered.
I don't know how to turn this off.
Put
Shut
it
up.
in the popcorn machine or something.
Ignore.
Just get it away from here, because we can't do the
You're
show.
right. It's a good idea.
It's just buried in the popcorn. That acts as an absorbent of sound.
I don't know how to get in here.
I think the front
doesn't matter. Ignore. Okay. Thank you very much for checking in. Greg, I wanted
front of there's no front piece.
I don't know how
You
to
could put
turn
it
this
in-
Nokia junk
Just
off.
here, I'll put it in the popcorn. You put it in the
Oh, the fronts.
the fronts. You just put it in there, and that will absorb the sound.
Okay.
Then we won't hear it.
All right. I still hear it. It seems like it's gotten louder. All right, Greg, I want to check in on the Oscars because we haven't really been talking about the Oscars too much. Now, I've noticed that people are not, that we don't have a lot of Hobbit wins yet. So how are you feeling about everything? Do you feel like the Hobbit is still in the race? I mean, what happens to you? Let's say worst case scenario, the Hobbit doesn't win. Where does that put you?
Well, I mean, I already got the information ahead of time that it will win, so I'm not worried about that. But I don't know about some of the smaller categories. We've lost a few of those that I expected we would win. Those aren't as important. I would have liked to have seen, the best actor, supporting actor, and some of these other categories. The good news is that should the worst happen, should the nightmare come
I'm sorry,
true.
I can still hear that damn phone. I can't get it. I can't find it now. Here it is.
Put it
Could
in
be her.
in the fridge in the other room, then we won't hear it at all. Or just
Hello? Is this Ayaka? Hello? Ayaka?
Hey.
Oh, shit. Okay, get this out of the studio.
Yeah,
Here.
just put it in the freezer or something and close the
Here,
door because
somebody take
the inside of a fridge is childproof. That's why kids
right.
die in them every year in landfills and things because
Talk
you
to
can't
me
hear
about
them
what happens if Hobbit doesn't win.
Well, I was worried about even if The Hobbit did win, which it will. I was feeling getting a little bit of a Hobbit hangover, as I like to call it, thinking about a world without more Hobbit movies. And they already have 3, and really, if you know the book, you know that they've used up every possible scenario from the book. And then I found out about this new book, which honestly is kind of a godsend to us Hobbit heads. It's called the Silmarillion. Silmarillion, and it's Tolkien's companion piece to The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. This is a very interesting book. It's not as well known. I actually went ahead and got a copy for you, Tim, so that you could brush up on this.
Hey, how do you like that?
I have it under pretty good authority that Peter Jackson is familiar with this book and is currently preparing not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but over 100 separate movies based on the characters in the Silmarillion. And if you look at this chart here, I don't know if we can get a close-up on this. Tim, if you turn to page, well, these pages aren't numbered because it's J.R. Tolkien and he does things his own way, but if you look at the chart here, it shows all the different characters that are introduced. These are new characters. We all love Bilbo Baggins, but do you know Elwing, Elrond, Elros, Maglin, Finrod, Finarfin, Irwin, Agnor, Galadriel, Hurin, Baragond, Belegond, Bregor.
In other words, this is a
blueprint for all the movies.
Of a script.
All of these characters will get their own movie over the next 50 years. And it maybe as often as a movie every 3 months because there's that many characters. And each character has a story to tell. Just as Bilbo had a story to tell, so does Halmir, so
This
does
is interesting.
Handir,
Shut up
so
for a
does
second.
Irindil,
Hold on,
so
shut
does
up.
Turin, so does Gundor, so
I'm
does
reading this right now for
Kendai.
the first time. I never read this book before in my life. Notes on pronunciation. The following note is intended simply to clarify a few main features of the pronunciation of names in the Elvish language and is by no means exhaustive. For full information on the subject, see Lord of the Rings Appendix E, which I'm sure you've seen. Consonants. C always has the value of K, never of S. Thus, Celeborn is Celeborn and not Celeborn. In a few cases, as Tolka's, Kelemanari as K has been used in the spelling of this book. That's pretty cool.
And I mean, here's something that just shows you what kind of excitement Jackson could bring to this project. Listen to this. I'm just going to read one random paragraph, and I want you to put yourself in the place of a moviegoer sitting in the dark cinema. The screen lights up with the opening scene of the movie, and it's Peter Jackson, total command of cinema, and this is the story that he tells. It is told that Huan pursued the sons of Fëanor, and they fled in fear. In returning, he brought to Luthien a herb out of the forest. With that leaf, she staunched Baron's wound, and by her arts and by her love, she healed him, and thus at last they returned to Doriath. There, Baron, being torn between his oath and his love, and knowing Luthien to be now safe, arose one morning before the sun, and committed her to the care of Huan. Then in great anguish he departed, while she yet slept upon the grass. He rode northward again with all speed to the pass of Sirion, and coming to the skirts of Taur Nu Fuin, he looked across the waste of Anfaglith and saw far the peaks of Thangoridrum. The point is just that there's a lot of stories that were untold, and that I felt that we were deprived of more Hobbit, but now I'm learning that, in fact, it's anything but that. I make a movie prediction right now, right tonight. You are going to see between 50 and 150 new Peter Jackson, J.R.R. Tolkien movies over the next 30 or 40 years. And these movies are going to break all box office records. As much as I love James Bond, I think these are going to finally pass James Bond as the most successful franchise in movie history. And I do hope that everyone will get online, purchase the Silmarillion, tweet at me about it. I can answer any questions you have, and look forward to the new era of motion pictures. Peter Jackson, J.R.R. Tolkien teaming up again to present the story of characters like Thuringwethel and Angband in the coming century. Back to you, Tim.
Welcome back.
That's not really funny.
Next is the award for On Cinema Oscar Special. Oscar Special. That's the Oscar or Movie Awards.
Yeah, it's presented by Chaplin Chili. Welcome back to the first annual On Cinema Movie Awards presented by Chaplin's Chili. I'm Kim Delgado, and as I said, welcome back. As an actor and producer myself, I've often asked what it is exactly that a director does. Well, they're a lot like the CEO of a movie set. They oversee all of the decisions that get made, and they tell everyone what to do. It's a very important job. So it is without further ado that I present the award for Best Director. Peter Jackson, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. Tim Heidecker, Decker. Bill Gluck, Annie.
No, Grace, they like the fact that he saved the little girl from getting hit by a van.
Roger Donaldson, November Man. Goes to Tim Heidecker.
Tim's not. Tim's asleep. I'll accept it for him.
Oh, okay.
On behalf of Tim Heidecker, I accept this award as Best Director of the Year. Thank you very much to the On Cinema Academy. Thank you. Tim.
I gotta take a shit.
You just
bathroom.
got, you get
Huh?
Best Director.
Thank you, everybody, and we'll be right back for more cinema. On Cinema Askers. Let me put this here. We'll be right back for more Oscar Cinema.
Let me get some chili.
I want to thank the Academy of On Cinema voters for my biggest award yet, directing award. You don't see Peyton Reed winning these kind of awards. You see Tim Heidecker winning them. Thank you to thank you to the On Cinema Academy for awarding me this award. I'm sorry I wasn't available to receive it. This is unbelievable. Thank you guys so much. I also want to give. You got to give. I gotta say something to Michael Keaton right now if you're watching. How dare you chew gum during the Oscars? How dare you disrespect this wonderful institution of Oscar by sitting there chewing your Wrigley peppermint gum and making, this isn't high school, okay? Spit the gum out. You're an Academy Award winner. I loved you in Mr. Mom and Gung Ho. After that, it became all about Batman, and after that, it was you're off the radar. You should be lucky enough to be working in this business because you are talented, but you show no respect towards me and the audience of On Cinema. And I think the On Cinema family is disgusted by your gum chewing. Shame on you. I hope you lose. I hope you lose tonight.
I hope he loses to The Hobbit. To Martin Freeman from The Hobbit. Because that's who deserved to win.
We have another On Cinema award to give an On Cinema Oscar, On Cinema Best Picture award, On Cinema Movie award, and
Best
we're going to
Actress?
cut over to, we don't do Best Actress, there's no Best Actress, they're all fine. Pat, take it away. Pat? Kim?
I'm here. There's no light on.
Okay, Kim, you gotta be a little quicker on your feet.
Ah, a script is like an actor's Bible. And as an actor myself, I'm often at the mercy of the... Next card, please. Words I've been given. Just a joke. So in 2009, when I tried my hand at writing for the screen with Taken in Broad Daylight, a dramatic thriller starring James Van Der Beek, Sarah Canning, and LeVar Burton, I finally understood the importance of this Hollywood craft. The nominees for the Best Motion Picture Screenplay are Tim Heidecker, Decker.
But let me just tell you, this is going to make our country safer, and in turn, we're going to help you provide freedom, safety, and security for your own country. Because that's what America's promised you. That's what America's going to deliver, no matter who the president is.
My pleasure, Decker.
Will Gluck and Aileen Broche McKenna. Annie.
Is it Mountain Dew or is it just plain old dew? Is it lemonade or chicken nuggets?
Fran Walsh, Philippia Boyens, Peter Jackson, Guillermo del Toro, The Hobbit, The Battle of Five Armies. And the poppy goes to Tim Heidecker.
Thank you very much. Which one of these is mine, Kim? Thank you very much. Thank you, Kim Delgado, for being the host tonight. And you're doing as good a job as you possibly could, considering the circumstances. This entire crew has been nothing but a letdown.
Well, I wouldn't say that they're a letdown. I would say that they're working as hard as they possibly can.
I don't think so. Thank you, Kim. Step away before I get pissed. Thank you. I'm going to just thank you. What did I win for? Script? Thank you for making this possible, On Cinema. The On Cinema family has rewarded me so many times over because We are in charge of the cinema. Oscar, this is better than an Oscar. I don't give a shit about Oscars.
After this. Or that. Or whatever you please.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Read 'em and Weep, 3-time winner, Best Actor, Best Writer, Best Director. It's looking like Decker's night. You have to admit, this is going to be one for the ages. The On Cinema Awards has finally spoken, the On Cinema Movie Awards, and I've won 3 already, and I still am up for one more, which is for Best Picture. Now, Greg, you've got a big special guest coming up. Can you tell us anything about it?
Well, I mean, I don't want to give away the surprise, but I can tell you this much, that this person is somebody that was possibly the most beloved star in the Hollywood galaxy.
Well, let's bring him out.
Well,
hold on.
It's going to be our conclusion to the show, because this is, I don't want to overshadow the Oscars and what they're trying to do, but we're going to bring this person out, and you are going to be reading about it tomorrow. International headlines, India Times, New York Times, any newspaper in the world is going to talk about the resurgence and the reappearance of this esteemed legend.
Let's go do one more On Cinema Oscar Award. This is the On Cinema Movie Awards for Best Picture.
Really?
You know,
Where's Kim?
Kim's taking his shit.
I'm right here. There's no light on.
Okay.
Welcome back. You know, they don't have an award at the On Cinema Movie Awards for Best Chili. But if they did, there'd be no competition. Chaplin's signature chili is in a league of its own. Chaplin's all-beef chili con carne is the #1 chili in the Hollywood area and a treat for any chili lover. A 5-time Silver Award winner at the Inland Empire Chili Cook-Off, Chaplin's is a true star in the chili galaxy. And like an old-time classic movie, it will be around for a long, long time. The nominees for Best Picture are Decker.
After all these years, still fighting the Taliban, mano y mano.
Annie.
This is a joyous occasion.
The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies.
Azog.
November Man. Escape Plan.
Du bist der Böse! Du bist der Teufel!
And the poppy goes to Decker.
Unbelievable for me.
Right there you go.
Thank you very much. And I'll take that award right here. Thank you very much, everybody. And that's 4, like the Beatles, the Fab 4. John, Paul, George, and Ringo. I got 4 of these bastards, and they are that because of all the work I put into Decker. And they're going to be a lot more where that came from. Cheers. Happy Oscar.
I'd like to thank you for watching our show. You know, we brought some of the best industry talent on the show tonight, with some of the most important issues being discussed on the show. And we'd like to thank you. Please call us, write us, email us, and tell us how much you loved our show. And don't forget, Chaplin's Chili is right around the corner. If you'd like some great indigestion, All right,
thank you very much, Kim. And Kim, you can step off now and reduce yourself.
Yes.
And help yourself to any chili, and we'll talk.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Kim, don't go yet. I got something for you. Just wait right here.
Right here.
Just right there.
Stand by.
Uh-oh.
The Chaplin's guy, I don't know what's wrong with him, but I'm supposed to present you with this. This is the menu for Chaplin's Chili, North Hollywood, and this is a gift certificate for $100, which you can spend on chili.
I'm flabbergasted. Thank you.
You got to use it in one visit.
You should have your parking validated. Thank you for being a part of this. Message to Hollywood. 911 called. and you have to get more balls because a whole interesting thing happened this summer with the movie called The Interview, which I think was thrown under the bus because we are afraid of terrorism, and because they should have given that movie the best Oscar because it had the balls to stand up and put their movies out before any movie had, before they told them they couldn't put the movie out, but they ended up putting it out. So congratulations to Seth Rogen for having the cojones to put that movie out, whether or not they were going to get attacked by Charlie Hebdo or not. Greg, let's bring out your special surprise guest and get the out of here.
I don't know if we're ready for that yet.
Okay. Well, then I'd like to do a version of On Cinema Oscar special Oscar Fever. Get ready. Okay. How's that song go? I'm gonna do it on the bass. Mike. I got the Oscar fever. Hope you got it too. Pour me some bubbly now. It's all you gotta do. It's a tinsel town for cat. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3. It's tinsel town. It's Christmas time for Tinseltown, the Academy Awards. Pour me some bubbly now. It's all you gotta do. It's who's gonna win and who's gonna lose. I caught the Costa fever. Hope you got it too. You, Mike Hoggleby, you ruined my night. I got the Oscar fever. Hope you got it too. Pour me some bubbly now. What's what you do? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? Hey, so I got the Oscar fever. Hope you got it too. I got diarrhea from that Chaplin's chili shit. I got the Oscar fever. Hope you got it too. Pour me some bubbly, man. That you got it too. You, Mike. Well, there you have it, folks. That's the game. That's the whole show. Oscar went to Birdman, a movie that was not as good as the 1,000 movies that came out this year.
No, no, it wasn't.
What do you think, Greg? Did you have any? Were you surprised in that one?
Yeah, I was surprised.
So that's it for Hobbit, and we'll look forward to Silmarillion in a couple of years, and hopefully that'll return. Thank you to Charlie's Chili for their best chili I've ever had. And we do have one more event that we're going to bring out. We're going to bring the energy back up. Shame on Hollywood for this. They had so many opportunities to do the right thing here, and they threw it away. And
the Oscars is turning into the Golden Globes, or just
well, it's turning into a
unrespected
popularity contest, and
yeah,
you know, Michael Myers, or Michael Keaton, whoever his name is, he's a joke, and everybody in that movie should be ashamed of themselves. They should give the award to The Hobbit, Peter Jackson, or Escape Plan, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The movie's just a
Sylvester
gimmick.
Stallone.
You don't award gimmicks. You award great.
Well, you made a
filmmaking.
great point online a while ago. You said it's basically a play that got filmed accidentally. So
yeah,
we don't reward accidents on this show. We made accidents earlier tonight, which I've apologized for, and we don't reward those. But I did win a lot of awards tonight, so it's a great honor to be here. Let's get to your special guest. Now, this
I think
is
that
exciting.
The Hobbit could have won the On Cinema Awards too, though, because Decker, as great as it is, already had plenty of awards.
Yeah, it didn't happen for you. Why don't we go to your special? I've been waiting all night. I've been begging him to tell me who the hell he's got stashed away, and this better be good. So,
well, it's certainly going to be bigger news.
I'll tell you
than
what, you're not doing this ever
this
again if
Oscar.
if this is a joke like it was last year.
That wasn't
with
that was
Oscar
good.
On Cinema Oscar history.
I'm sorry, just the wind is taken out of my sails a little bit, but let me get back on the saddle. Throughout movie history, there have been some legends. Humphrey Bogart comes to mind, Marilyn Monroe. But there's one legend whose star shone brighter than any. And for many years, he has been out of the public eye.
Okay, there's our first clue.
Mm-hmm. And through a book that came out recently, which we're going to talk about during the interview, I found out that this person is now ready to reclaim their spot in the spotlight.
Who is it?
Let's bring a chair out for our special guest and let's do our reveal. I think.
Watch my own singing.
I think everybody here is going to be very pleased. No, it's not. This should not be here right now. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on. Ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. James Dean.
Hi.
James, come over here.
Come on, yeah.
Have a seat.
I didn't want to come out until you came.
Author of a new book, I'm Still Alive, Why I Faked My Own Death to Escape the Trappings of the Hollywood Star System, Fame and Fortune by James Dean, who faked his own death. Come in and have a seat, and let's talk to Tim.
Hi.
Maybe
James
see a
Dean.
few highlights
I thought
from...
this asshole died about 100 years ago.
No, let's see some highlights from James Dean's career. Have a seat. Have a seat, Mr. Dean.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a seat.
I thought this guy died. What happened?
No. It was just an accident. Yeah. But I
Mr.
recovered.
Dean,
Yeah.
it's an honor to have you here.
Oh, thank
Have
you.
a seat.
What's going on? Is this a joke?
No.
Let's take a look at some of Mr. Dean's highlights from his career, and then we'll speak to the man
This is my
himself.
book.
Mr. James Dean.
Please. I'm not afraid I can think. I don't know whether to beat you or kill you. Hit me. Why don't you hit me?
you think of my castle?
Shoo!
Gee.
Wow.
Well, now there, then, I think we'll take it for the summer. Right this way.
You can't win anybody's love by fighting them every minute. Show him. Tell him.
Oh, you show him.
Go up to him and tell him that you love him. Anything. Just show him that you love him.
Well, you just show him. You won't. You're so hot
Me,
about
what
it.
do you-
I'll show you.
You say one thing, he said another, and everybody.
All right, well, here we go. We have James Dean from the Academy Awards here with us, one of the original actors.
Who
Greg,
wrote the book, I'm Still Alive, Why I Faked My Own Death to Escape the Trappings of the Hollywood Star System Fame and Fortune.
Yeah,
I read this book and I was amazed at your story of keeping under wraps what really is the hoax of the century. And of course, you have in here the faked death certificate,
Yeah,
which
that
as
wasn't
you-
real. I didn't.
No,
yeah,
is
yeah.
you proved in the book. It's very extensively annotated as to how he faked this. James, why did you leave the glamour of the world of Hollywood
Seems
movies?
ridiculous.
Well, movie, what I really wanted to do, and I used to call up Marlon Brando and tell him, this is now, for me, I was on Broadway. I did a really good show on Broadway before I came to Hollywood, but then I got that Hollywood thing. And
How did you fake your own death? How exactly did you do that? Because you fooled everyone for the last 60 years.
Big car accident, and I just laid very still, and and then.
Is this a joke?
No.
Is this a practical joke?
No.
Is this James Dean from Hollywood movies?
Tim, read the
He's
book, because
alive?
in the book it's all spelled out
Let me see
very
that
clearly
stupid book.
how
Yeah.
he did this.
This looks like-
What was it
You
like
made
working
this-
on Rebel Without a Cause, Mr. Dean?
Oh well, that was kind of fun too. I like that. I like that. But and I didn't like that the knife scene. No, I didn't like that.
Is that a knife from the set of Rebel
Yeah,
Without a Cause?
that was one of the knives they actually used.
Would you submit to a DNA test to prove that you are DNA?
Oh yeah,
DNA?
sure. Yeah, DNA.
No,
What?
James Dean?
What?
Did you ever meet Marilyn Monroe back in the glory days
Oh
of
yeah,
Hollywood?
yeah. You used to pal around
Do
with
we
her.
have
You know.
is this really Marilyn?
Yeah.
James Dean?
What have you? Well, Tim, what have you been doing the last few years? Where have you been living?
I've been doing a lot of theater. I did some theater in New York, years ago when I did that one thing. But then I went to North Dakota and did the regional theater there and did a lot of.
So you were hiding in plain sight.
Well, yeah, I was around there, and doing everything that I wanted to do. I really felt like doing. And I used to call Marlon Brando, and I used to. Well, I have a friend, Best, William Best. He was kind of nice, but he's busy with somebody else now. He's got.
So you've been hiding out for all these years. I mean, this is the biggest story we've ever had on cinema history.
I wasn't hiding out. No.
No?
No, I was out there, but I just felt. I felt that being an actor wasn't really that deep for me. I felt that I could be a philosopher if I wanted to. I could go into politics. I could do a lot of things. I just wanted to be away from everybody looking and seeing what I was doing.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd ever make a comeback as an actor? The world is watching and waiting.
Oh yeah. There are things that I would like to do again. I'm thinking, I might go back into Shakespeare.
Yeah, Shakespeare. That'd be neat. Doing Romeo and Juliet, whatever.
Well, no, I wouldn't do that, but with King Lear.
Yeah.
I could do a good King Lear. And I was thinking of doing a musical version of King Lear, a lot of peppy songs in it.
The Curse of Rebel Without a Cause, Sal Mineo, Natalie Wood, Jim Backus, they all died before their time. Now you've broken that curse by revealing that you're alive.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why they died.
Why did you choose to come here on this show when you could have walked onto the Oscar stage during the middle of that Birdman's Steal of the Century? And why did you decide to come on this show?
Because
Who are
I asked
you?
him,
Why
because
did you
I read
even
the book that I found in a
use-
message board.
This all smells like rotten fish. The same way
Tim,
you
read the book, and then we'll talk.
I didn't come on there because they didn't let me.
They didn't let
They
you.
didn't
So
let
are
me.
you
They
a
wouldn't.
communist? What do you got, a blacklist on you, or what is
No,
this?
Tim, read the
I'm
book.
just-
I
I'm
will
just
read
a
the
guy,
book,
yeah.
but I don't know. You should you be careful. You bring him out here, and if he turns out, I'll get a blood sample from you
Tim,
after this show. I'll take it
read-
myself. I'm talking
Okay,
about.
yeah,
Take a look at the
yeah,
certificate
look
of
at that.
death.
Yeah, look, that's my
Look at the
certificate.
signature. It's just scribbling.
Yeah.
First of all, the certificate of death shouldn't be handwritten like this. You see how it's
All right,
handwritten
well,
in there?
I don't know.
The
I
parts
don't know
that,
any about
if you look at a real
I
certificate
don't know.
of
I
death,
don't know if I'd end the
it's
show
all
on this
typed
kind of murky
in.
shit. I'm sorry if you guys think. Who knows who this is? It looks like James Dean. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
he's
it's
alive.
James.
Who
No,
knows?
it's
You know, but
You sound like you might be insane or something.
I
Like you might
don't-
have
I
mental
don't
problems.
care.
You
I
definitely
don't-
have mental problems.
I do not have mental
I
problems.
don't
You-
care.
This guy,
I don't care.
from
need
the
to read the
smell
book.
alone, I know that sums
You need
up.
to read the book. This is James Dean. Look.
Yeah.
Do you
All right.
see?
Why don't we say thank you very much? Good meeting you, whoever you are, Mr. Dean or whoever.
Do you think we'd ever
well,
see a rebel without
Do you have
a
any
cause too?
identification on you or anything that might prove that you're
well,
who you are?
there's my picture.
Yeah, but he's been living under
That's it,
assumed
yeah.
name for the past 40
That
years,
cost-
out of the limelight. If you
and-
read
and-
it.
What do you
and
think
yeah,
of all this?
yeah.
I was just thinking, you should have said, hey, Mr. Dean, or whoever you are, maybe Mr. Gene Smart from Kate and Alley.
Who is this? This guy.
He's some
Yeah, I don't
asshole
know.
we have doing impressions. He's supposed to do Three Stooges. He kind of threw
yeah.
it under the bus.
But those,
I
but
thought
those,
I did.
those Three Stooges weren't good
Did
actors.
you ever meet the Three
you know.
Stooges on set?
No, I saw the picture, but they weren't good actors. They
were good actors?
No, they weren't.
They weren't.
They weren't because I saw the picture, but
everyone's
I
critic.
didn't get involved. I didn't get involved with them.
What was it like working with Elizabeth Taylor in Giant?
All right.
Oh,
how would he
she
know?
was
He doesn't know.
great.
He didn't meet any of these
Yeah.
people. You
No.
got scammed, man.
No,
The book
she
is
was-
called
she
I'm
was
Still
nice.
Alive. It's Rebel
Yeah,
Without a
you're a
Cause, Rebel
fraud.
with a Cause
I'm still
Publishing.
alive.
Yeah, I
You can get
know.
this
Listen,
online.
I looked.
Rebel with a
You
Cause.com.
had me for a
I'm
minute.
more
You had me
alive
for a
than
minute, but
you
you're a
are.
fraud. Get
I'm
off
more
my
alive.
set.
I'm
Get
more
the off
than you
my
are.
set. Get him out.
No,
Get him out. Mark, you get him out.
Mr. Dean, I'm sorry.
Well, you know,
Greg,
well,
you walk
you know,
him out.
Come on.
This has been a disaster
No,
for you.
no.
You burned every bridge you ever had.
I'm a star.
Get him
You're-
out of here.
you're-
I don't want to
you're a
smell
jerk.
him no more. He
He's a jerk.
stinks.
Say that louder.
I'm a star.
Yeah.
And you're a jerk.
Yeah, well,
That's
guess
all.
what? I just looked it up. You'd never won an Academy Award anyways, even if you are James Dean. Get the
I was dead.
Get out
I
of
was
here.
dead then. I
Get
was
out
dead
of
then.
here.
I was dead then.
You get out of here! Get out of here!
Tim, don't. This is a legend.
Get him out of here! Get him out of here!
I got his mic.
You get him out of here now! Get him out!
Yep.
You ruined the show. You ruined the whole show. You gonna take that knife out? Get him out.
Yeah.
Get him
I
out.
want to show you my knife.
Get him out. You get him out. I'm walking off.
Here. Get my knife. He's a son of a bitch. A goddamn dumb, stupid son of a bitch.
Get him off my set!
This is your set?
Mark, this is your
My set.
responsibility. Get him off.
This is my set, man.
Okay.
Greg?
This way, sir.
This is my
Come on,
set.
Mr. Dean. Don't listen to him.
I don't listen to him.
Don't listen to him. Come on.
He's going to be a dead man.
Walk off.
I got his mic.
His career is through. He's a fucking jerk.
Yeah, he is a jerk. Come on. Just wait over here. We'll get you a car.
Ooh. That could cause me damage. I could sue his ass. I'll be running your show in a couple of weeks.
Oh, bring it on, asshole.
I'm suing him. I'm suing his ass off. Yeah.
Take your stupid book, too. Roll credits.
Here, I got something to show you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
The book's
we wanna
called I'm
present
Still
to you-
Alive.
Give me a camera. Get him off camera. Get him off
Well,
camera.
they can just not put the
I'll
camera on
knock
him.
all the rest of your teeth out.
They can just take
We
the
got a
camera.
huge
You don't
sur-
have to threaten Mr. Dean.
We got a huge surprise.
You don't have to
Ladies and
threaten
gentlemen,
Mr.
Thank
Dean.
you so much for Mark Proch, who gave us a wonderful performance tonight? No, no, we have something planned. We have Mark Proch
don't
and
listen to
as
this
the
guy.
Three
He's an asshole.
Stooges get off.
Just don't.
Hey, Mom, stop getting off! Hey, Larry, what are you doing, Larry? Don't put her...
Don't come over here. Stay away from me. I don't want you guys hitting me. A lot of times, and he said, what do you people are wondering? Larry, whatever happened to you? Well, I died in 1975 of a stroke, Tommy Jerry, and before that, we had a resurgence of our film. Hey, Mom, what you doing? A lot of college kids found our films to be
Hey, Mom, what you doing?
I want to thank Greg, the Turkington for having me here tonight.
He's a rageaholic. He's a
And
rageaholic.
I want to thank you guys for all your support.
He's got rage problems.
My golden age of comedy classics.